Hello. Both the babies are sleeping, so I decided to go ahead and do a vlog. This is my 2-week postpartum update. Let me show you the babies really quick. Here's Miss Lily. And here is the new baby. He is such a squirmer. Like every time I think he's awake, it's just him squirming around and squeaking. But so yeah, I'll start with my recovery. For those of you that don't know, I had a C-section. So it was my 3rd C-section because my first baby, Josiah, he's not here right now, he's with his grandma. Labor did not progress. I was 5 centimeters for way too long, so my other 2 were cesarean as well. So yeah, my recovery, when I first got home, it wasn't too bad. I was able to get up and walk around, and with the other 2, with Josiah and Lily, after about a week, I was already feeling better. But like after a couple days of being home, I started to be in a lot of pain. I had to take more medication than I thought I would because I don't like taking too much medication, and just overall I just was not feeling that well. It was still enjoyable being home and of course being with my baby and my family, but definitely in a lot more pain than I was with my other 2. I don't know if it's because I'm older or if it was because it was my 3rd C-section, but yeah, so, and then I was also constipated a lot. I know that's TMI, but I was constipated a lot earlier this week, up to the point like where I was like crying. Like it was really, really bad. George had to go out and I had to ask my doctor what safe laxatives I would be able to take because I was in a lot of pain with that. Like there was one point where the constipation pain felt like labor contractions. It was really, really bad. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but I was like, whoa. I did not feel that with my other 2. Oh, is he squeaking over there? Nope. I told you he just does that every time I think he's awake. Next, I'll talk about the family situation. Both the kids, Lily and Josiah, are loving their baby brother. I thought they would be jealous. I thought Lily would be like, excuse the word, a little bit hateful towards the baby, but they are just loving the baby. There was one point where for Dominic, that's the new baby's name by the way, for Dominic we had to bring him to his first pediatrician appointment and we didn't know how long it was going to be, so we dropped the kids off with my mom, and my mom texted me and George saying, Lily's at the door, she's crying, all she keeps saying is baby, baby, I want the baby. So so yeah, it's been nothing but love over here, and Josiah's been holding the baby. Like he was like that 2 years ago with Lily when he was 6 years old, but like he would hold her and then he'd be like, okay, I want to play. Like it's amazing how 2 years can make a difference. He's 8 years old now and like all he wants to do is hold the baby. When he comes home and gives the baby a kiss, they're just so enthralled with the baby. And yes, having 3 kids is taken some time to get used to, but it's not hard. Like everyone, I don't feel like they try to scare you, but they do try to put certain things in your head, or maybe their experience is different. Like having 3 kids is so hard, it's so unmanageable, but I love it. I love our family and I feel like it's finally complete. And I don't think having 3 kids is terribly hard. I feel like sometimes it's challenging, but I almost feel like going from having 1 kid, because for those of you that don't know, Josiah was 6 years old before I had my other kid. From having 1 kid to having 2 kids can be more hard because you have to adjust to just having 1 that's older to now having 2 kids. Like I was already used to having a crazy toddler and a a hyperactive school-age child, so adding a baby in the mix, I know this sounds crazy, but it wasn't too bad. Does our family sometimes get a little bit crazy? Are there evenings where we're like, yes, but I'm sorry, is mommy being too loud? But anyways, yeah, I love it. I love having big families anyways, and I love big cities, and I love stuff like that. So having not even a big family, because nowadays some of my friends have like 5 kids and stuff, but having a family of 3, because my mom had three daughters, I love it. It's not hard, as people would say. Is there times where it's challenging? Yes, but it's not hard. And I love how close we all are. And so yeah, that's how I feel about the family situation. Breastfeeding, he is doing so good. Like my other 2, Lily and Josiah, I breastfed them exclusively too, if you guys didn't know, but like both of them did good in the hospital, on and off. It took some time, and then when we got home with Josiah and Lily, I had to retrain them. I had to pump for a couple weeks, and then I would feed them, you know, and it took a couple weeks when I got home to retrain them to breastfeed. But Dominic, he's just been exclusively breastfeeding. I pumped a couple times so Dad can feed him off the bottle, but he latched on as soon as they brought him to me. It was like that, and he didn't have any problems. The only thing I would say is, same with Lily, he spits up a lot. Josiah's been my only one that doesn't spit up a lot. So yeah, he spits up a lot. That's like the only problem we've been having with breastfeeding. But I think it's because, and it's amazing how even 2 years makes a difference, but after this C-section, they kept him in the room, and George got to hold him, and we did skin on skin, and we touched cheeks, and George held him and brought him up to me, and I talked to him. As soon as they brought him out of my belly from the C-section room and they cleaned him up, he stayed with me until end, after they were done tying me up. With Lily and Josiah, they didn't do that. With Josiah, they brought him in the room to take a bath, and the family saw that, and I was still getting stitched up. With Lily, she was in there for a little bit, but then they brought her in the room too, and Dad left, and I was alone getting stitched up and went in the recovery room. This time, Dominic was with me the whole time I was getting tied back up, and they kept him in the same room as me in the recovery room, which they didn't even do with Lily 2 years ago. So I don't know, it may not make a difference, but that could be it too. The more quicker you have skin to skin, that could make a difference with breastfeeding. But that's just my little tidbit. I don't know if that makes a difference. And like I said, either way, all my kids have been breastfed, but I did notice like he latched on way quicker. Okay, well, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I think he's trying to sleep. But I'm sorry it took so long to do even a two week update. I was supposed to do a weekly update. I promise I'm gonna try to do a day in the life. Dad's going back to work. Oh, that's another thing I haven't talked about. Dad has been absolutely wonderful. So he's been helping me, and he's been super dad with the kids. So that's been really great. And he's gonna go back to school next week, so I gotta get used to doing this alone, which I did with my other two anyways, but still. So yeah, I'm going to get going because he seems to be waking up. But yeah, I will try to do a day in the life next week. Okay, bye guys.